Indiana is scary to me.
Ant-Man was on this Kobe shit. We gonna lose with me having the ball in my hand and me getting up at least 25 shots.
This is a very, very New York win, and that's what this was. This is a gully grit-ass win. We good being down 2-1 right now. We actually comfortable. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Timeout with Dwyane Wade. Right now, we are not all in the same location. We are remote. I don't know what D right at, but boy, hey, blink twice if you need us, my boy. We'll be there. hey, blink twice. I don't know, but man, as you guys know, co-host D Wright, Chris Johnson, Bob Metellus. We get an opportunity to jump on real quick, man. Talk about what we're seeing in real time. What's up, fellas?
What's good?
Hey, I'm seeing somebody realizing that you got a bench over there and you got to utilize that bench if you want success. Yeah. I talked about this before. No championship team, none, has ever been successful without their bench, period.
This is true. But when you know Coach Tibbs, if you go look at the history of Tibbs and how he plays his top 7 guys, you know, he probably had to look in the mirror over the last day or so and say, hey, you know, I'm going to have to change or I'm going to be embarrassed. It's one of the two. Like, literally. Yeah, I think this was a wake-up call for him because they say you can't teach old dogs new tricks, but
he will have to learn.
Hey,
he will have to learn.
Listen, you play guys with they got a little edge to them right now. You're searching for something. Like, after losing 2 games at home, man, as a coaching staff, you're searching for something. And one thing you know, the guys like, obviously, little bro DeLon Wright, McBride, like those guys got an edge to them because they haven't been getting the time that they feel that, they deserve to go in here and make a positive impact. And so now you put all of them out there together and just let them off the leash and just go.
Right.
And then you're able to give yourself a chance now. They thirsty. Now, 6 minutes left in the game as we're watching, you give yourself a chance now to be able to compete and win. So now it's on your starters. Your bench have done their job. If y'all win this game, Chris, who win is this?
It's the bench.
It's a bench or coaching, right? You can decide, but it's either a coaching change, smart move by the coaches, or it's the bench coming in and getting that dub.
I'm going to give it a combination because, like I said, it goes back to Coach Tibbs. His stubbornness works to an advantage of players getting rhythm and understanding that they're going to be on the court. But on the opposite side of it, I'm going to give the players like DeLon Wright, McBride, for being ready. That you got to be professional. So those guys ain't played in weeks. And, being professional, staying in shape, working out, training, being coached, being in the game plan, being locked in as if your number will be called is something that young players can learn from this right now. Is, those players have done their job because they stay ready.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. That's where you get longevity in this league, too.
Yes. For staying ready.
Mm-hmm. Yep, stay ready.
Now, is it one of those things where you look at, like, right now, was it just more that – do you think it was an underestimation from New York?
No, I think
when Jackson in the Garden, I need that.
It's a conference
Game
final.
1, they set the tone.
Them boys right now, them Pacers is just playing at a different level.
The Pacers actually, before the start of the fourth quarter, just so you guys know, this is an interesting fact, they had 18-0 fast break points.
Mm-hmm.
And they were still up. And now the Knicks are up. And the Knicks now, just in the fourth quarter, is 8-2 fast break towards the Knicks. So getting out and running with those fresh legs have been really critical to help them push the pace and transition and not go up against a set defense.
I've been impressed with, and a lot of it is Kevin. I'm a couple minutes behind. Don't worry about me, but anyway,
about 5 minutes behind.
Hey, bro, you're in the future somewhere, so don't. But one thing that's been really impressive, and a lot of it is just from a lack of probably watching the Pacers all years. how good a defensive team they are. Like, I don't know the ratings or anything, but like just watching them as a unit, as a team, that's what they're beating the Knicks at. Like the Knicks are used to like the we're gonna grind you, we're gonna come down, we're gonna run our offense, we're gonna get to our sets, our guys gonna get the ball. And their defense has been so great that Jalen Brunson has seemed like at times he's been on the ball way too long because he's just doing what he normally do. But with the way that Naismith was guarding them, the way that all these guys are guarding them, they're pushing them out more, and they all right there. And he's seeing nothing but brick walls everywhere he goes. Like I've seen him spin about 18 motherfucking times, but I didn't know. So their defense is pretty impressive.
It's really
defense definitely well, man. But the pace of the game, the Knicks haven't been able to keep up with it. We talked about the bench. When you're playing against fresh bodies and you're playing against tired bodies, the fresh bodies always gonna win. The bench come in, McConnell, he comes in, do his job. Toppins come in, do his job, and then they go rest. And those starters, they feeling fresh. I looked at the numbers the last two games. The starters for the Knicks were at like 43, 44, and then all the Indiana starters at 33.
Yep.
So you're playing an extra 10 minutes. So we're going to be a little more fresher than you and have opportunity to close things out at the end because we got our rest. And Cat right now, they call it travel.
We're in the last 5 minutes, and you guys know, as a unit, we think the last 5 minutes is the most important part of the game. So it's 94-90, 5 minutes left in the game. What we got, D? What we got to do for the Knicks to close this thing out?
I was just on Pardon My Take. I'm out in Chicago. I went on and said on Pardon My Take. Those guys were amazing, and they talked about our Miami Heat team. And the one thing I told them about us as a team, one thing we knew, no matter what, the offense may click, the offense may not click. But how we were going to win championships was going to be in the defensive end of the floor. That's where we put our hard hats on, and that's where we really, really were really good at. It was getting stops. And we know we can execute, we can make some shots, but if they're going to win this game, the Knicks, it's not the offense is okay. They got enough guys that can make shots. It's about how can we lock down the Pacers, because when they lost that game one, Pacers were getting any shot they wanted, bro.
Right.
Having them in too many closeout situations, like they're doing anything they want. So with the Knicks, bro, it's strictly on the other end. If you want it, you got to go get it down there.
Yeah,
you got to finish it down there. And so,
ain't that what they hang their hat on though? That defense.
I thought so.
Boy, look who's back on the court. Heisman's back.
Oh, yeah, it must be because they know, because shit.
Bro, he's back running full speed.
They need him.
Bro, that kid is a difference right now.
Hey, young fella, you good? Yeah, let's go. Take this time now, young fella. You be all right.
So, D, when you say New York have to hang their hat on the defensive end, their coaching staff, their culture of what they've built over the last 3 years, getting this team back to the Eastern Conference Finals, has been built strictly on defensive principles. So they got to get back to doing what they do all year. That's what they hang their hat on.
Yeah, I mean,
you got.
Going back, D. Reese, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I was about to say, you got Bridges, you got Hart, you got OG. What are we doing? You got somebody in DeLon Wright that can go defend. Yep. So giving up 30 points to Neesmith in the first game is unacceptable.
Yep.
And then coming back and getting Pascal getting 30 in 3 quarters, unacceptable. So like you mentioned, you got to hold your hat on defense, dude. You got to go out there, take some damn pride in defense and get a stop and make things difficult. Like that first game, Neesmith was just coming off basic down screens.
Yep.
And knocking down. It's like, what are we doing? Like, we got to lock in. So, and then also Mr. Robinson.
Yeah. OG
I was nasty.
OG just blocked his shit too.
But now, do you think it's one of those things with Nate Smith is that they just didn't respect? It almost was like you didn't respect it in a sense, because like he was wide open, like he would just go.
Well, you defensively, you're gonna have you're gonna have your scheme in place, right? So when you look at your scheme, you try to get smaller triangles versus guys that you can. He may have been one of the guys that they target and say, hey, we can help off a little bit more on this pick and roll. We can tag this guy more. We can do more in their scheme. But
he had a game, baby.
Yeah, he had a game. He had the right game.
You can't plan for that. You can't even get outside of yourself when he hitting those shots necessarily, because you don't want other things to happen because those other things are the things that really like that fuel. And so you got to take some of those sometime. And it's unfortunate that it happened the way it happened. But I'm sure in the game plan you will take him shooting the shots that he shot, not making the makes that he made, but taking the shots that he shot, because you have not seen him do it consistently enough. So you got to bet on something or someone. Let me make a point to that question you asked, Chris, that D. Wright talked about. And what I was going to say is like the one thing, man, when I look at the Knicks right now is like, and if I'm on that sideline with my team, I don't care about the X's and O's of this game. I think we know what to do. Who I put in that game got to go in there. You got to make an impact. I want to see your heart. That's just how I am. I need to see your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just lost 2 at the crib in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're better than that. We're so much better than that. But that's over with. You got to come on a roll now. You got to do some hard, because if we're going to get to the finals, now we got to do it hard.
Right.
Easy now. Now it ain't with home court advantage. And so game 3 right here, what I'm watching with Cat is I'm watching Cat's heart. Like, respectfully, like, people talk a lot of shit about Cat, but right now while we watching his heart, like, you watching guys that came off the bench that hasn't been played, you just watch their heart. And so that's what I need to see from y'all, Knicks. And even if we lose this game, I can lose like this. What'd you say, D-Ray?
I ain't going out like that. That's got to be the mindset.
Bro, not like that. Come on, man. We done worked too hard to get right back here, man. Come on, y'all.
If we're Indiana and you're the Indiana coach, D. Wright, right now it's 3 minutes left in the game. We're down 2. What are we talking about in this timeout? They're in a timeout for challenging a play. What are we saying right now? Here they go, ball back out. So what are we saying? 3 minutes left. What are we down 4? What are we talking about as Indiana?
We got to lock in. We got to do it on the defensive end. Cat is kicking our butt, so we got to take those easy baskets away and contain him, because basically what he's doing, he's taking Miles Turner off the dribble. So Miles Turner got to do a better job with containing the basketball, and guys got to help. Got to make Cat a facilitator. I haven't seen Cat pass the ball to nobody. He tried to go in there and bang that.
Hey, have you noticed? Y'all noticed that this run that the Knicks are on? Have y'all noticed something about the personnel for the Knicks? Bronson's on the bench.
Yes. So the pace of the game, the speed.
The pace and then also too, it's unpredictable now, because it's everyone knows that we're going to get 60 to 80 pick and rolls with Brunson. So now Indiana has gotten to that rhythm. You've now changed the rhythm and the flow for them now. So now, not that they don't know what to do, but they don't know what to do and how to do it without seeing Brunson come off and the way he runs those pick and rolls. So now it looks a little bit more free out there. You're not going to win the series this way.
Right.
You can win some minutes this way.
You can win some minutes.
Right now they're winning fucking minutes. And when the game get a little closer, hey, Brunson, go be the player of the year.
Hall of Fame. So Hall of Fame. So when do you bring back Brunson? That's a coach's, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's a feel. Right now we rolling. We straight.
Okay.
Even right here. Like, hey, we got a timeout. Can we put him in when we need to? I need to know all my situations and scenarios, by the way. Now, if they make a quick run or steal, I need to know I got a quick timeout. We got to stop this. Or maybe we ain't got a timeout. I got to get them back in. Like, you just got to know where you are, what's going on in the game.
So right now in the situation, Knicks up, 90?
It's 3 points,
98-94, fourth quarter, 2:42 on the clock.
Yeah, man. So, Chris, you and I on the same time frame. We both watched TNT.
Yep, watch TNT.
I'm a little ahead of y'all.
Both teams have 2 timeouts. So at some point, if I'm here,
but Chris, I'm Indiana. I'm like coming out of that timeout. I go to my point guard. I tell Tyrese, "Hey, this your show, young man. You know what to do. Get us some good shots. Get us our looks. Now this is when you got that leader right there. This is on him, and we're gonna put you in the right sets. Right? We're gonna read the game. But hey, young man, this you.
This is your time right now.
Go ahead and push yourself one game closer to the finals, bro. This you.
He is driving Turner to the basket.
He finally did what I just mentioned. Got to show bodies. McBride. Damn.
Oh.
Cat got stubbed on the knee.
Oh, you got to make. Oh.
He got a little boo-boo. They needed to stop. That's a big stop. Got a block. That's a one. Ooh, they close out game. Dang, they played one.
That's the effort the Knicks have not been making.
That was a hell of a.
This is the effort we need. Like Pascal don't get 40 points if we're making this effort. Not saying he can't score, but if we're making this effort. This is winning effort right here by the Knicks.
Yeah.
He's got to just finish it out now, though. At this point, we got a minute and 30.
No, OG.
Minutes to change.
That one possession, you could take that clip and show it to D. Wright. You could show it to that AAU group out there about multiple efforts and how to X out and close out that one possession.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of kids they don't understand. You got to cover ground. It's not just your man, your area. You got to fly around. That's what makes winning basketball happen. When you fly around all around the court, instead of that's not my man. If he wearing the other jersey, that's your man. So fly around the court.
Right.
So fly around. Okay, Brunson back in. 1 minute 37 seconds to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be tie game.
Tie game.
Now, this is why we gonna keep paying you the big bucks, baby.
Did Cat sub out with the little boo-boo with the knee?
No, Cat probably straight. Put a little ice spray or something that they do on their knee. We good. Let's go.
That was a bad sequence for the Knicks letting Siakam get behind the defense. It was them. Hold on, B Right. You got to slow down.
I'm sorry.
No, to me.
D Right, you got to go to TNT, bro.
I'm on TNT.
What you watching?
I'm on TNT too.
Man, I got
that hotel cable. Internet ain't shit.
I got TNT East Coast. We behind, baby.
We got to call TNT and get it right.
I might got that E&E.
Ooh.
I should go to the NBA app. So I should be on the NBA app on that ass.
Okay.
See, this is where you got the big bucks, baby. Give me the ball now. Everybody's done their job. Now, clutch player of the year, we need you to do your thing.
Yep.
Do your thing.
That's filthy right there. What contact, cross the lane, floater going away from the basket.
I don't like that. I don't like that last possession by the
Indiana.
I didn't like that last possession. But
it wasn't doing with no force neither. It wasn't done with like this is winning time, Pacers. Like they go down 3-0. They ain't coming back from 3-0.
Right.
Yeah.
Just 2-1. They feel good.
But do you think it was a situation where they were up in the half and they're like, okay, we got this? They almost like just overlooked them.
Man,
like almost like
when they switched out the game, bro, the game changed for the Pacers. The Knicks started really making them. I mean, Cat started balling, but the Knicks started really making a run. I mean,
shoot, that was an air ball.
Damn, Bruns.
And then what the Knicks have done in that last series to Boston, you can't count them out. We've seen them walk them down a couple of times, the champs.
Yeah,
and we've seen rebound.
The point I was going to make. I'm glad you brought that up, D. Right. So when we talk about the Knicks, when we first started talking about the Knicks in this playoffs, when we got serious about it, we talked about them winning 2 games on the road on the defensive end of the floor. We talked about Miles Bridges getting those stops, but what the team did. That's how we was introduced with talking about the Knicks. And so now we're not talking about the Knicks in that way. That's the way the Knicks are going to win. If they're going to win this game, we got to end talking that way.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, they guarding right now.
What they doing. They guard now, baby.
Guarding right now. They guarding. Look at Josh Hart.
Go get it, Josh.
Me.
You good. You good, number 3.
Get up.
Woo! We good. 3. Let's get up.
You got to get up. He went and got that.
Yeah,
you know, Josh, I talked to Josh Hart, AAU coach.
Just let you know he got up.
I talked to his AAU coach.
Hey, Bob, you know what? You're the worst kind of friend, too, that gets some shit before everybody else.
Anybody else want to update?
So Josh Hart, Bob, as AAU coach, I was talking to him the other day, and he said, Josh was a pure dog in high school in AAU. He said literally, when he was talking to Jay Wright, he told Jay Wright, you got to take this kid. This kid is what Villanova basketball is built on. He talked only about his toughness, his ability to guard everybody on the circuit, and how he just really took over the game with his defensive prowess. And you look at what he did in Villanova, look at what he did in New York. That was a big offensive rebound.
Huge.
So that's a dog, though. A dog goes and get the ball.
Right. Yep. You can tell.
So do you foul right now? I will foul.
Man, why?
Why not?
Keep it four.
Because Tyrese hit a 3 on him. Oh, he got it. He got a foul.
It's okay. But look, it's 9.7 seconds left. They played it. You got time to run down. You talking about fouling early?
I would have doubled his ass.
Indiana is scary to me. They will hit 2 threes, bro, and the game will be 1-3, bam, and a steal, bam, over. Game over.
The game ain't
over. So I'm thinking about how do you get that possession?
Listen.
Yeah. I'm looking at Halliburton's stats right now. 20 points and 6 assists. That's big time. Keeping him under,
I chose both underdogs to go to the finals. I chose both underdogs. I just want y'all to know that for the record.
Who did you choose?
The easy choice was the Pacers and OKC.
Stop.
That was the easy choice.
New York is a 3 seed.
New York and Minnesota are not. They're the underdogs.
No, New York is a 3 seed. Wade, come on, dog.
Come on, but you know.
I chose the Pacers.
I know they had home court advantage. They still the underdogs.
I'm with you, Trey. I'm with you.
Bob, come on, Bob. You got to stop that.
Hey, listen. I was not trying to believe what I saw. So now let me ask you this, Chris. Did you expect Indiana to get 2 out the gate like that on them?
Absolutely. I called it.
You think the series, but the
first game, I called it. Go look and see who I picked.
From the East Coast to the West Coast. Come on, bro.
Come on. I didn't say you was not saying you was not going to win. But like 2 up top like that?
Listen, we were calling one game at a time. And I said this was going to hurt the Knicks. And nobody picked the Knicks in game 1 but me. None of y'all picked them. I picked.
Wait, what?
None of y'all picked the Pacers in game 1.
Hold on, man.
Yeah, I'm not picking them. I'm picking the Knicks. The Knicks lost that game. They gave that game away.
They did give that game away.
You can give it away, get right. You can hand it away, but it's a loss.
I agree with you 100%. But they gave that game away. That was out of pocket.
But it's still a loss.
Man, so what's up? What we talking about?
What we talking about?
What you want to do, man?
Man? What we doing?
What we doing, man? Yeah. We got going on. I got a couple of islands over here.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
What's up,
babe?
Man?
Babe.
Not babe. Babe, go get my wallet.
Nah.
What's up, man? Look, I got a couple of
in my drawer right there and bring me that cash.
Old school, man. I ain't got no Venmo and all that. I got hundreds. What's up, man?
Man.
Listen, we got a series right now. Knicks about to win this.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we back.
We back. It might be another series where Blues win games on other team home court. Come on, Cass.
We back.
But yeah, it might be that series again.
So
now, have you noticed? I got a question. Do you remember when y'all played Indiana and y'all had there were games where y'all had 2 games in between, 2 days break in between games instead of these 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's a benefit to the game, or
it gets less as you get up in rounds? You get that in the first couple rounds. As you get up in the rounds, you don't get that much time off.
Yeah.
I felt like when I played Indiana, wasn't that a conference finals?
I mean, once in a while you may get a 2 day off, but
okay,
not every. That's a part of it, man. Listen, everybody want to take the easy route to get to a motherfucking championship. Y'all gonna stop that, dog? It gotta be hard. Everybody want to come out. Listen, I love it. I respect it all, but stop it. Not when it comes to winning the championship. You want to do it hard. It has to be hard.
Yeah.
So that's all a part of the hard. Hey, we get 1 day off and we right back at it. All right, when you travel, you get a travel day and you get it, whatever, you right back at it. It's a part of it. Somebody gonna break, Bob. Somebody gonna break.
That's why it's so hard to run it back. Like you haven't seen too many teams run it back. Bob, when was the last team you seen a three-peat?
Golden
The
State.
Lakers.
It was the Lakers.
The Golden State didn't even three-peat. It's right. They won 2, then they lost, and they won 2, right?
Exactly. The Lakers got the last three-peat.
Yeah, the Lakers before Shai came to Miami.
Exactly.
That was 25 years ago.
Bro, that's how hard it is to win.
Yeah, so everybody got to stop this trying to try to take the shortcut to the chip. You ain't gonna go get Larry. You ain't gonna go holler at Larry O'Brien on no shortcut. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nah.
Damn, they got to be tough.
All pass.
No all pass, man. Stop it, everybody. It's hard. Your body gonna be broke.
If the Knicks win,
let's call it. Like, I want to talk about. I want to make sure we discuss. Obviously, we should probably wait to this next 8.1 seconds. But like, where we are now in the series, where we are with tomorrow's series, where we are in general, as far as like what we expect. Obviously, I didn't get what I expected. But again, I think you're right, D. This is not supposed to be easy for anybody. So it's going to be a trek. You're going to find some fight. What are your thoughts on as far as like just where we like as we continue to move forward, as we continue to get to, like these next few games?
Well, let me get this win out there. Let's get this win right here. So we're about to get this win in New York.
Oh, here you go. Talking about we.
Well, that's who I chose. This is who I picked. So
right. So I'm gonna say what, son. I'm behind D with he got the money. I'm just next to him right quick. I had the same teams.
Yeah, this is who I picked. All right, so. Now, unfortunately, you don't ever want to lose 2 games in your home court. But what you do is you learn a lot about yourself at the same time. Because getting up the next day getting up from that blow, getting up from them hard blows to get up from. But once you realize all it is a hard blow that you got to get up from, and you show each other you're going to show up every day. You're showing up for each other. Now you can go on the road and you can win one like this because everybody kept showing up for each other, even when it was the hardest time of the season for them. So now I believe in the Knicks a little bit more, even though this is going to be very, very hard to do. But it's all hard to do if you're trying to actually be successful. So when I look at this right here, this is a very, very New York win. That's what I was telling everybody up here that I was watching the games with. I was like, yo, I want to see the New York spirit come out. I want to see the state. I want to feel the city in this game. And that's what this was. This is a gully grit ass win by the Knicks to go in Indiana and get that dub. So I love where they at. We good being down 2-1 right now. We actually comfortable.
We
hung.
So, D-Wright, what about you?
Hey, man, I love the grit. I love the grind that the New York Knicks came out with. We've seen it in the Boston series. Can't count them out. They're a great second-half team. They played together. They played their bench. Cat came up big time. McBride came up big time. I love the adjustments from Thibodeau, bringing in Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup, bringing Josh Hart off the bench. Looks like they gave him, extra energy. And then you also got Cat kind of playing on the perimeter a little bit more when you got Mitchell Robinson out there with him. So I think, game 2, it might be another game where they could sneak another one in and get another win. It might be one of those series where, the first team that could win at home, can take advantage. So great team win for New York, man. A lot to build on from this game.
Coach.
I mean, I think Tibbs seen that they were getting their butt kicked on the offensive glass. He ain't had no choice. They were getting killed because Indiana sends 4 guys to the boards. And so the way you kind of combat that is inserting your other center and try not to get beat on the boards early with second chance shots. And I think that helped them early on. And they were over to overcome a 20-point deficit in the game in the third quarter. Indiana looked like they were finna beat the brakes off of them. And, I picked Indiana because of the pace, because of the offensive rebounds. When Highsmith went down, I mean, it shows that kid is needed for Indiana to win.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a big piece to Indiana's team based off of the defensive prowess that he brought in, and it actually changed the game, and it took the momentum and put it over with the Knicks. So shout out to the Knicks, even though I didn't pick them. Shout out to the Knicks, to the coaching staff, and for Cat. People always picking and poking at Cat, and he showed up in Game 3, one of the biggest games of the year for the Knicks, and he put the team on his back. He did that. He rebounded, he scored it, he attacked it. Yep.
And he was in foul trouble, too. He did that while being in foul trouble on the road.
That's dope. That's big.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I mean, we want to see a good series, even though we know who's gonna win the series.
Hey, listen, Stan Van Gundy said it so nicely. He said, "Cat, no, he picks up undisciplined fouls." That was so well said. He does,
So
he has a lot of undisciplined fouls that can harm him when they need him, the most. But tonight, to watch him, be in that same situation and watch him, go the other way in a sense, not get in foul trouble and be that force for them down the stretch. When Brunson, when the offense wasn't working with Brunson running the high pick and rolls, Indiana was on their ass. And so coaches make a great change. Bring in DeLon Wright, bring in someone who can come in on the defensive end of the floor. You got McBride out there who can score the basketball as well. You bring in these young guys playing with OG, playing with all these guys, and now they're real disruptive, and now the energy changes. And Cat, you can see Cat building off that. He was out there with those guys, and so man, that was just a really good. As a fan of the game, that was just a really good playoff win by a team who it looked like they was on their way out.
Bro, when you look at the bench of the Knicks, which has been non-existent, 8 points, 9 points, 2 points. DeLon had 2, 3, and they had, Jay Hart had 10 rebounds off the bench.
Yeah.
When you look at that, and then you talking about Cat having 24 and 15, that's a monster game, bro. That's a monster.
What did Jalen have overall?
So Bronson had 23 points. He had 23 points, but you just look at the bench and the adjustments, and obviously, Indiana played a decent game. I got to go back and really look at how they blew that 20-point lead. Was it because of the Knicks defense, the turnovers? What happened?
The intensity level went down a few notches, and the Knicks start attacking. And it's all about, the game is about, it's a flow, it's a rhythm, it's about momentum. Like people, it's weird when it happens because you can't, like you don't understand it. But when you change the flow and the rhythm of something because of maybe a player got in foul trouble or got injured, or you take a moment to lax, or whatever the case may be, and then the Knicks got the force and they just took it to them. And now Indiana's playing on their heels a little bit, and now we need every shot to go now to kind of save us because our defense ain't clicking. And so, I mean, it was the perfect time, and the Knicks was ready to strike when need be. And like we said, I think it's when Naismith went down. It just seemed like just the energy just because he was having so much success by having ball pressure on Jalen Brunson up top that it was causing the Knicks offense to be stale and stall a little bit. And soon as he went down, it opened the game up for him, and they took off.
I'm looking at Indiana Pacers. They shot 5 of 25 from 3 at home. And, I would expect them to shoot a higher percentage at home because they're at home court. They shot the ball really well on the road. So they didn't shoot the ball well tonight, and that goes back to the defense of New York Knicks, taking away those 3-point shots and contesting them and giving them one shot with Mitchell Robinson out there rebounding.
Now we know what this series looks like. We got a series now, thankfully. It's not blown out, not 2-1. We got the same thing happen on the other side, too.
Belt to ass last night. Timberwolves came out and did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I know a lot of people who, obviously watch it from afar. They don't understand how being in the playoffs, the difference from game to game really, really is, especially from home to away. So some people thinking that 2-0 is automatically over. But if you know how things just swing, you know that you was going to see a different Minnesota team. But did you think you was going to see that Minnesota team?
No, not almost up 50 at one point. I didn't see that one coming, but I love it. And I felt like Ant-Man was on his Kobe shit. He was on that, go to hell ball. We gonna lose with me having the ball in my hand and me getting up at least 25 shots. And he set the tone yesterday. He came out with a hot first half, whatever you want to call it. He was out there hooping. And he was like, man, I don't give a damn who guarding me. I'm going out on my terms.
Facts.
But they made an adjustment too. They even brought in one of the rookies I work with, T. Shannon, and he had 9 points. He had a couple of defensive poke outs where he changed the game. with his minutes. He actually came in and
that first half he had 9. Yeah,
he had 9. And
he had 9 in 4 minutes. And it was
4
16.
minutes.
Damn.
9 in 4 minutes.
Yep.
In the first half. Yeah.
Yep. And so he's a rookie. He just was in pre-draft at this time of the year last year. And this is something so you guys can look at. Most people, they don't really draft older guys no more. T. Shannon is an older guy, and you can see that he's mature and ready. And every time they give him an opportunity, he's ready to go. So drafting guys that have 3-4 years in college and have shown that they can actually.
But this time of the year is when you really get to see it.
That's what you get to see.
Sure.
Right.
You get to see someone who's learned how to win by the years they played in college and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing that I love about watching Ant in the midst of him, this rise that we're watching him, become the American superstar, right? Like of the league, the American, because it's obviously international stars. But, we're watching it in front of our eyes. But one thing that he's becoming as a 23-year-old man is he's becoming a leader. And you're watching that.
Yep.
You're watching that in the performance. And I said this before, and I'm not giving him credit for their talents and them making shots and all that. But, you hear it coming out of their camp. You hear Julius Randle saying it, like, this guy is this young man is an unbelievable leader. I think the confidence that he's able to put in these guys is helping them take their games in these moments to another level. And so what I watch is, yes, D-Right, I watched a young man come out and be like, no, we gonna go to hell with this one. Like I'm about to let this ball burn. But also, he didn't forget about the other guys that need to continue to help him if you're gonna win this series. Yeah. And so you saw the confidence get built, in other guys. Like, yes, he was shooting, he was making, but he also too was still pushing, he was still leading, he was still putting confidence in them dudes. And so I'm really impressed by that, and we go back to him early on when he would say Jaden McDaniels is my favorite player. Like, he wouldn't talk about no other player. He would only talk about his teammates. Mm-hmm. And D-Right, that means a lot when your peers and your teammates are the ones talking about you because they see the things that you do that nobody don't even understand. And so,
no doubt,
this shit to that young man for really, taking another step in his, in his level, his rise to stardom. But he took it this time in leadership and helping that team come out and be real professional and win that game at home the way they did.
Yeah, he actually went back to the way he played against the Lakers and Golden State. He passed the ball a lot. He made plays for his teammates. And it wasn't just go to hell to him. I watched him make the right play over and over again, and his team feed off of that. So, when Minnesota is making +1 plays and he's the engine that does it, they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough team to beat. Michael Conley, too. Michael Conley.
Sure.
Man, having him on the team, a leadership type point guard, and then coming out, being ready to play, having playoff experience, being next to Ant, and being able to be that true leader. Even though he's not outspoken, his game was big yesterday. He played very well yesterday.
Are there a lot of vets on that team outside of Conley and
Rudy and Conley? They're the two.
Rudy and Conley both come from spending a lot of years.
Joe Ingles too.
Yeah, yep. And so all those guys are all Utah guys. Those are all the guys who turned the Utah Jazz back into a 50+ win with Donovan, obviously, like Joe and Rudy, and obviously Mike Conley. So these guys have experience together in the Western Conference competing. They were on their run, and then things changed, and wound up losing, and then the team broke up. But that they've seen it before, and so now you got this supreme talent of an individual player who plays both ends of the floor. And you got other guys as well that are talented that's on this team. And like, this is probably the best team, of course, that they've been on. You know what I mean? But they've already got a chance to sniff it and smell it a little bit when they were in Utah, and they were kind of running the show. And so just coming in, just watching those guys, man, obviously Joe don't play as much as the other two, or Joe don't play at all at this point, but you can see his leadership on the bench that's going on, that's happening at the same time. And so it's really cool to see those guys get this opportunity at this time. As someone who came in a new investment group of the team and is kind of watching their last 2 years, on their way out of, change the guards changing in Utah to now in the place that they are, where they're making winning plays. They're not doing too much. Like Rudy's not doing too much. He's making winning plays, and when you do too much, like it takes our focus away from what Rudy really does well. And so when Rudy just does do what he do, he's making winning plays. Mike Conley's making winning plays on both ends of the floor, and they're both leading in the way that they know how. And so it's really, really cool to see.
Now, D, do they have enough to win tomorrow night?
Yes, they have enough. But that game that they won, if they expect like it was in Game 3, if it's going to be like that in Game 4, I think one of the things that a lot of teams make mistakes on is. And I'm sure it's hard to do, so I'm not saying that this is easy to do, but because you've won a game, you've now bring that same game to the next game. But the team who lost has come in and have come up with different ways to, obviously stop that game.
Right.
And so now you're playing this game where who's going to make the adjustments first? And so I want to see what adjustments Minnesota make to whatever OKC can throw at them. Be prepared for, hey, this is what they can go to, because they have a whole season full of what they've done on teams that have done this to them. So what did they do the next game? We're going to be prepared and ready for that. So I want to see Minnesota be prepped, prepared, ready for whatever OKC now does, because it's going to be tougher for them to possibly, obviously have the scoring output that they all had.
But I think they got to understand taking away the other guys. Jalen Williams, you got to keep him quiet. If you want any type of chance of winning that game, we know SGA going to get his. He's the MVP. He going to get his. He going to get to the free throw line. He's going to bounce back and have a better game next game. But you got to stop those other guys. Chet Holmgren can't have a big game. Wiggins can't be outside three-point line knocking down shots. And Caruso, you got to contain him. All the things he does with messing up the game, with his hustle and his energy. You got to contain him as well. So coming in that game 4, you definitely got to worry about the other guys. SGA going to get his, but you can't let those other dudes beat you.
Hey, OKC, guys, had the best road record in the NBA. Just so you guys know. So I think, with that type of record all year long, they've shown a lot of consistency. Minnesota is playing great right now, but they haven't been that consistent. And, when you look at consistency, I'm expecting OKC to have another big game. And I think all of the players are going to show up.
I love everybody's points, when it came to the games we just saw. Obviously, with New York and also Minnesota winning Game 3, and what we're going to be looking for, obviously in Game 4, what to expect, and all that. But we have ourselves 2 good playoff series now, and they wasn't typical in the start, but now we're getting into the meat of the playoffs. And this is when it gets good. As a fan, this is when you really want to see what people are made of. And so this little chunk right here, Game 4, Game 5, Game 6, that's about to happen. There's going to be hopefully some great competition, man.
I'm looking for the coaches' adjustments. D always talk about, there's several different ways for teams to win in a playoff series. And I think this one is going to be up to the OKC coach and how he decides to implement the game strategy and make adjustments from Game 3. I think the Game 3 adjustments is going to be telltale for the whole series, whether that's a defensive adjustment. Do we trap Ant early? Do we get the ball out of his hands and make other people make plays? Ant was splitting double teams. He was attacking the rim. He was dribbling around 2 guys, getting to the paint. And so, you got to put a strategy in place to keep that young man from getting too many paint touches, which will definitely hurt OKC at winning. So I think the difference in the game in Game 4 is going to be coaches' adjustments. Players are going to play, but they need to be in the right position to play, and they need to have the right game plan and strategy.
Well, before you jump on, I guess what I want to see is obviously a good game, but I just want to make sure I cover my bet at Minnesota wins this game so that I can be even, but mine's real easy, but go ahead, D. What you want to see is from the Basketball Hall of Fame press you are.
Well, obviously, when we're picking teams, we have to pick one or the other. So it's not like
True.
But I picked Minnesota for selfish reasons. I would love to see Ant at that next level, but also too understanding how good OKC is. And so, what we did is we watched them bounce back in Game 4 in Denver, and we watched them come back in when Shai was walking off the court. Smiling. The way they came back in the next game really showed their ability to be able to, get to the finals and what they could do. Right, those are grown up wins, and so I want to see how they respond to getting their butt kicked the way that they did. I'm sure you're not overly concerned, but it got to be some concernment there. And so I want to see really how they respond. To me, it's not a win or the series is over type of game, but this is going to show me, have they taken the steps that is needed to get to that next level, which is going to be a harder level to actually win certain games. And so as much as I want to see Minnesota come out and obviously get this dub and tied up 2-2, what I'm going to be watching as a fan is I want to see what OKC, how they approach this game. How does Shai, as the leader of this team, how does he approach it as the MVP to make sure that he is slowing the game down a little bit? And he is, that people say he's manipulating the game, he's doing all this stuff. No, he's playing the game, and he's one of the smartest to do it. And so because he's smart and because, he understands that, how the game is called, he's able to do those things. And they're going to need that to slow down the pace of Minnesota, because that team plays like this at home. It's a different speed and a different pace. And so I just want to see how OKC is going to respond. It's not even about them winning. It's about how they respond. It's about how those coaching staff, like Chris said, how they're going to respond, what they're going to implement that's going to make it a little bit tougher on Anthony Edwards and make him have to go into another level of greatness. Coaches do that, right, with whatever schemes they come up with. So I want to see that, even though Minnesota 2-2, baby. Let's go. All right.
Okay,
everybody, man. Thank y'all for hopping on, guys, man. D-Wright, I still don't know where you at, but don't tell nobody.
I'm in Kansas City. The barbecue sucks.
The barbecue. Yo, Chris, you look like you're on a therapist couch. I know those windows and couches. Above your head. They looking at the time.
Yeah, come join the coach's couch. The coach's couch.
The coach's couch. Bob, you look like you well lit in studio. You using all your equipment. I bet you turn that camera around. We see everything. You using
everything.
It's off with one little flashlight. We appreciate y'all taking a moment, taking the time out with us. We're back in studio this week, so this is our first time coming to you guys on the road in different places, different locations, talk the game that we all love. So thank y'all for taking the time out. Peace.